My baby's got it. My baby's got it going on. My baby's got it. My baby's got it going on. My baby, she's so fine. I worry every time she gone. She's pretty as a picture. Treats me like a king. Walks into a room, puts a halt to everything. My baby got it. Baby got it going on. Baby, she's so fine. I worry every time she gone. Picture. Treat me like a king. Walks into a room and puts a halt to everything. My baby got it. Baby got it going on. And my baby, she's so fine. I worry about her every time she gone. Baby got it. My baby got it going on. Till she gone. like a baked hot potato now. Hot chili mama, wherever you go, honey, I wanna go. Hot chili mama, I take you to the Zydeco dance. Hot chili mama, I'm just looking for a little romance. Hot chili mama, hot chili mama, she's a hot chili mama, she's a hot chili mama. Hot chili mama, hot chili mama, hot chili mama. Yeah, 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 yeah. She's a hot one, the hot chili mama, just a hot chili mama. Yeah, hot chili mama, yeah, hot chili mama. She's a hot one, baby. She's a hot chili mama. She a bon ton. She a hot one.
everybody. How you doing on this Tuesday morning? Let me see who I have in my live chat this morning. We have a James AR79. Welcome to my live chat. I believe this is the first time you have been to one of my news shows, so thank you for making an appearance. Lady Thorn, G. Bronnert, Ceruli, Jacob Nevo, Bubonics here too. I got a Wikipedia snippet. I'm saying good afternoon to a Jason Todd, who's across the pond. A Penina is in my live chat. A Posmatic Warning, who's usually across the pond, but is now in Canada. So good morning to a Posmatic. A good afternoon to a Mariel Bell, who's across the pond. And as I scroll down, do I have any more new additions? There's my Wikipedia. Oh, morning reality check. I see as I'm scrolling down, because I gotta catch everybody. There's my Callie. There's a red robot clanking in the chat. Good morning. Good afternoon from across the pond, Batman. Good morning, Numbed Skull. And hi, good morning, Lou. I have a full boat this morning, apparently. Well, welcome. Thank you for coming this morning. I appreciate all the support you guys give me. Oop, so far I've got 16 people watching, so hello, 16 people out there in YouTube land. And thank you for watching my little show. Yesterday, my stuff got a little quieter yesterday because I unfollowed some people and I left a couple of Discords. So if you don't see me posting or interacting with people in some Discords, chances are it's because I left them because of the drama. I'm trying to avoid all the drama, and when the shit just kind of cools back down, I'll probably ask for invites back. But I don't want to pop into certain Discords and see nothing but drama all the time in the Discords, because that's not what I come for, and that's not what I do, and that's not what I report on. So, you know, it's just something that's, to me, it's kind of sad when you have to revolve your life around drama, but that's just my particular opinion. So I am going to do this again this morning. For those of you that do not know, the links are in the description for this. Every December, I think they start back in November, the Marines have a Toys for Tots drive. They are looking for unwrapped toys for children that are underprivileged and probably wouldn't have any kind of Christmas without people buying these gifts for them. The link in the description will give you locations where you can go to donate these unwrapped toys, so the Marines can then wrap them and distribute them to families on Christmas. So please help out Toys for Tots. They have been doing this for years, and it's just a really good cause. It's really good to get behind, and it's just, I mean, it's kids on Christmas. I mean, come on. How do you not want to help out kids on Christmas, right? All right, so let's see here. I think that's all I'm covering this morning. So let's head straight into the news. Alright, so this morning we're going to start out with a little bit of, let me close this so it doesn't pick this up. I follow, for those of you that don't know or are new to the stream, it's picking up the live chat. Alright, let me come over here and do this. Yep. Alright, here we go. Now I'm going to do this, click on this, and that's going to go back to the one. I follow the Department of Justice, the Department of Defense, the Secretary of State, and all that on Twitter. And whenever they tweet something out, I want to share it with you. So good morning, Shadow Cat. How are you doing this morning? And this morning, it's what's up in the DOJ. This is as of yesterday. So we have owner of Miami Home Health Agency sentenced to more than 9 years in prison for role in $15 million Medicare fraud conspiracy. The owner and operator of a defunct Miami, Florida home health agency was sentenced to 115 months in prison today for his role in a $15 million conspiracy to defraud the Medicare program. Acting Assistant Attorney General John P. Cronin of the Justice Department's Criminal Division, Acting U.S. Attorney Benjamin G. Greenberg of the Southern District of Florida, Special Agent in Charge George L. Pirro of the FBI's Miami Field Office, Special Agent in Charge Shimon R. Richmond of the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Office of Inspector Generals. Wow. There's a lot of people involved in this. Miami Field Office and Special Agent in Charge Brian Swain of the U.S. Secret Service. Miami Field Office made the announcement. Yuneski Fornares, 38 of Miami, was sentenced by District Judge... by District Judge Joan A. Leonard of the Southern District of Florida, who also ordered Fornares to pay $15.1 million in restitution and forfeit the gross proceeds traced to the offense. Fornares pleaded guilty on October 3rd to one count of conspiracy to commit wire fraud. As part of his guilty plea, Fornares admitted that between April 2010 and July 2016, he owned, controlled, and managed the business at Elite Home Care LLC, and that he and his co-conspirators submitted false and fraudulent home health care claims from Elite to the Medicare program via interstate wire. Fornares further admitted to concealing his true ownership interest in Elite by not listing his ownership interest on the Medicare enrollment application, and to enlisting patient recruiters to recruit patients to Elite in exchange for illegal bribes and kickbacks. Well, morning, Ryan. Welcome to my live chat. If this is your first time here, pull up a chair, grab your favorite morning brew, and join us for the news and a little bit of fun later. All right, let's see here. Fornares admitted that he knew or had reason to believe that most of Elite's patients were not eligible to receive home health services because they were not homebound. Had Medicare known that Fornares paid bribes and kickbacks to attract beneficiaries to Elite, Medicare would not have paid any claims submitted on behalf of those beneficiaries. The FBI, HHS, OIG, and USSS investigated this case, and this long list of people persecuted the case. The fraud section leads the Medicare Fraud Strike Force since its inception in March 2007. The Medicare Fraud Strike Force, now operating in 9 cities across the country, has charged nearly 3,500 defendants who have collectively billed the Medicare program for more than $12.5 billion. In addition, the HHS Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, working in conjunction with HHS OIG, are taking steps to increase accountability and decrease the presence of fraudulent providers. And for those of you that love the citation needed, there's your citation directly from the justice.gov site. Everybody keeps putting praise Doug in the chat. I don't see an Optimus Christ in there. I guess they're just playing around with it. Alright, let's see here. Next one. With the DOJ. I know it's around here somewhere. Oh, here it is. Blip. And we pop back up to the top. This is also yesterday. Houston man taken into custody on charges of terrorism. Khan Serkan Damlarkaya, an 18-year-old U.S. citizen from Houston, has been charged with unlawfully distributing explosive making information and attempting to provide material support to Islamic State of Iraq and Al-Sham, ISIS, a designated foreign terrorist organization. Acting Assistant Attorney General for National Security Dana J. Bonte, Acting U.S. Attorney Abe Martinez, and Special Agent Charge Perry K. Turner of the FBI's Houston Field Office made the announcement. Authorities arrested Damlarkaya late Friday, December 8th, upon the filing of a sealed criminal complaint. It was unsealed this morning as he made his initial appearance before U.S. Magistrate Judge Dina H. Palmero, at which time he was temporarily ordered into custody pending a detention hearing set for December 14th. According to the charges, beginning in or about early August 2017, Damlarkaya engaged in online communications with undercover FBI agents and other sources. During those conversations, he allegedly shared his intentions to travel overseas to fight for ISIS, or, if unavailable, to commit an attack in the United States. The charges also indicate Damlarkaya asked if he could provide a farewell video to be published should he follow through with an attack resulting in his death in order to inspire others. Damlarkaya further provided instructions on how to build an AK-47 or AR-15 assault rifle from readily available parts in order to avoid detection from authorities, according to the criminal complaint. Additionally, Damlarkaya provided a formula to alleged ISIS supporters for the explosive triacetone triperoxide, and instructions on how to use the TATP in a pressure cooker device that contained shrapnel, according to the allegations. He also discussed the use of a machete or samurai sword as an alternative to a gun or explosive. The criminal complaint further indicates he claimed to carry a knife in the event he was stopped by law enforcement, and that he slept with a machete under his pillow in case his house was ever raided. Damn, every one of those parts. Yeah, I know, right? Holy crap. Okay. In early November 2017, according to the court documents, Demonetization explained, quote, "If I buy a gun or supplies for a bomb, they, presumably law enforcement, will heat up pressure. Just like a few months ago when I was trying an operation, but they found out." The criminal complaint further alleges that Demonetization claims to have attempted to get to Syria on 2 other occasions, but failed. If convicted of unlawfully distributing explosives information or attempting to provide material support to a designated foreign terrorist organization, Demonetization faces a possible 20-year maximum term of imprisonment. A criminal complaint is a formal accusation of criminal conduct, not evidence. A defendant is presumed innocent unless convicted through due process of law. The maximum statutory sentence is prescribed by Congress and is provided here for informational purposes. If convicted of any offense, the sentencing of the defendant will be determined by the court after considering the advisory sentencing guidelines and other statutory factors. Boy, you guys are having way too much fun with Nightbot. The FBI Joint Terrorism Task Force conducted the investigation. Alright, so, once again, I'm copy, paste, and there is... I'm not the person directly below. So, that is what's going on in the DOJ. Now for the news. Alright. New York pipe bomb leaves questions. In an attack that left 5 people injured, the pipe bomb attack and subsequent arrest of 27-year-old... God damn it. I think his name is... How did I spell that? Akayed. Oh, see? Half asleep. And yes, I'm editing live. Akayed Ullah left many scratching their heads in regards to how the Bangladeshi was living in Brooklyn to begin with. The discovery of him being in the United States on an F-43 visa prompted President Trump to reassert his stance on making the immigration laws more stringent. An F-43 visa is essentially a green card for the child of a brother or sister of a legal immigrant that is being sponsored to become a permanent citizen or, quote, extended family chain migration, unquote. Akayed came here in 2011 under this visa. The waiting list for such a visa can take up to 20 years to attain, and it expires in 10 years. This means he was 21 when he arrived here. The suspect admitted to being radicalized, saying the bombing was his retaliation for the American airstrikes in Syria and elsewhere which are targeting members of ISIS. He said he learned how to make the bomb by going online and finding instructions on how to assemble it and how to mix the materials inside the pipe. The pipe itself came from a construction site where he was working as an electrician. The pipe bomber was a member of a Bangladeshi Muslim center who has said this is not what and who we are in reference to Akayed being a member. Mr. Quandary, a spokesperson for the Muslim Center, also went on to say, "The Kensington community we have, it's people who work very hard just to provide for our family." Further investigation has uncovered that police in Bangladesh stated they never heard of Mr. Ullah. This has spurred many in Congress to want to put restrictions on immigration and limit the number of permanent resident visas. They also would like to do away with being able to bring relatives to the States through the extended family chain. Maddie, even I know how to make a bomb. I know, you can find all the information on the internet, which can be really scary sometimes, Jason. But, I mean, it's true. Anything you want to find is on the internet. You just have to know where to look. You know, and pipe bombs are, not that I've ever tried to make one, I would assume they're relatively simple to put together. So, let me see Wikipedia. It's a good thing MWM reading is because I have to turn the res all the way down to keep the stream from buffering. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that was, let me see here. Is it buffering for me? Let me check mine. No, it's not buffering for me. That's
If
odd.
it matters, it's not buffering for me either, and I'm sorry to interrupt.
Alright, here we go. And the second story of the morning, EU rejects recognizing Jerusalem. Netanyahu was in Brussels Monday, insisting they back the U.S.'s recognition of Jerusalem as Israel's capital. Foreign policy chief Frederica Mogherini was witnessed as saying that no European leaders would adopt Trump's lead. Netanyahu was quoted as responding with, "What President Trump has done is put the facts squarely on the table. Peace is based in reality. Jerusalem is Israel's capital. No one can deny it. It doesn't obviate peace. It makes peace possible. The EU is concerned about Trump's move, saying they don't wish to see a discredited U.S. administration in regards to negotiations in the Middle East, but the move will not come." Mogherini and other ministers have been waiting for details on how the United States is going to enact a peace initiative, but see no time frame nor a hint of who will be involved. Quote, "We've been waiting for several months," unquote, said a French foreign minister. And he went on to say, if that's not the case, then perhaps the European Union should take the initiative, but it's too early to say. You know, they're sitting here thinking that they need to take the initiative to put peace in between the Palestinians and the Israelis. But look at the mess that they've created over there in Europe, and tell me if them trying to negotiate for peace is going to make anything any better over there in the Middle East. I personally, upon what I have seen the EU do already, I don't think they would improve the situation any. As a matter of fact, I think they would hand it all over to the Palestinians and screw the Israelis. What peace? Palestine doesn't want peace, Cerulli. Yeah, exactly. Lou, it won't make anything better. No, it won't. I mean, look at Sweden. Look at all the places that the EU has open borders. And look at all the places that they have actually put people in jail for trying to defend themselves against these so-called quote-unquote refugees, which are grown men that are practicing the Islamic faith in the most radical sense of the Islamic faith, raping Swedish women and stuff, but if you report it, you're the one that's a racist. I don't think I want that particular coalition trying to negotiate for a peace in the Middle Earth. Ha! I got Lotra on the brain. In the Middle East, because it's not going to help matters any. It's going to make it worse. It is definitely going to make matters worse, I think. Let me see. The Batman. Which Sweden? Sweden or Canada? Sweden! Would you prefer Trump or Mr. Garrison? Wikipedia. Probably not your fault. Jacob. Maddie, I think Trump is doing the right thing, and I'm not a big Trump fan. Well, I mean, he is, but it's a delicate situation. Yeah, I know, Red Robot. Slip of the tongue. Oh, I've got some work I got to catch up on before I even entertain streaming. And by then, it'll probably be time for Penina's stream. Yep. I mean, it's just, what gets me is, over there in the Middle East, everything is volatile. Okay? There is no simple answer to political problems, and there is no easy way to bring peace in between two people that have been fighting for over 70 years. I mean, Wiki's probably going to look this up as soon as I ask the question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. How many ceasefires, how many of these particular ceasefire agreements have there been between Israel and Palestine, only for Palestine to break the peace and start the conflict again? I mean, that's... And then every time Palestine breaks it and Israel retaliates, Israel's the bad guy for defending themselves. It just gets... It boggles me sometimes, because whenever... Exactly, all of them. Because it isn't Israel that's instigating it or breaking the ceasefires. It's Palestine. And then, oh my God, Israel is a monster, because they're attacking all this. Look, when you have an army like the Palestinian army that doesn't have any morals and is putting munitions manufacturing locations under schools, under hospitals, around churches, where civilians are for I hate to use this, collateral damage. The person that has to retaliate in order to defend themselves is going to look like a monster, but what choice do they have? To sit there and allow Palestine to continue bombing them without any retaliatory strikes? I don't think so. That's not fair to them.
I looked this up, and apparently somebody says that Palestine was never an independent state, so they technically can't have a ceasefire.
Well, that's always been in contention over there, whether they are or not. Yeah.
I just thought that was funny.
Yeah, it is. It is funny. Alright, so let's move on to bigger, brighter, and happier things, hopefully. So it is time for...
Your mother was a hamster, and your father smelt of elderberries.
Yep, it is that time, and the first person on the shout-out list is Benji James with a video entitled The Rise of Censorship Episode 1, Ratings in Film and Gaming. He wants to try and start a conversation on whether or not YouTube could be improved if they actually implemented the same rating system that movies and television has. Would it be more accurate? Would people be able to access the material or the content that they want to see if the rating system was implemented blanket across the board? It's a very interesting thing. He also goes into the differences between the rating system in Australia, where he's at, and the rating system here in the United States. So please take a look at that. It's a very interesting watch. Next one on the list is Prince of Queens with the privilege paradox as it applies to social justice. It's a very good introspective of social justice and the fact that, what they consider privilege and how it comes back on them and they don't realize it. That particular paradox. It's a very interesting listen. It's a very interesting video, and it's a very interesting subject to just tap on and start a conversation with. So visit that one. It's really, really good. Next one. And I gotta pause this so it doesn't play. That is Suit Yourself, and the title of the video is YouTube Run by SJWs. Leaked info explaining demonetization. I have to finish watching this. I didn't have time to finish watching it this morning. But it is interesting. There's a lot of screenshots. There's a lot of proof. He taps on Nerd City's video about the coding on the videos. And other things that lead to the fact that even though YouTube is saying they aren't, that they actually are. Restricting videos, censoring videos, and pushing videos to the side and demonetizing them. So, take a watch of this one. It's really, really good. And the last one on the list is very nearly viral with Are the SJWs responsible for August Ames' death? Plus more terrible news. They touch on current events news as well as the August Ames death. They have a really interesting take that I can't say I don't really agree, I can't say I disagree with how they said it. But it is a really interesting video. Take a look at it. Give it some views and put your comments down below on it. If you want to recommend a particular video or channel for me to highlight on the show, you can either DM me on Twitter or DM me on Discord. The only stipulation is, if it is a content creator that is embroiled in the current mess of drama that is going on, and you recommend a video that is about said drama, it will automatically be rejected. The reason that I recommended the Roy and Lacey video is because it has nothing to do with the drama that has been going on Twitter or anywhere else for that matter. And that is why I am recommending it. So please be aware that if you want to do any sort of recommendations of that ilk, that they do not refer to any kind of drama whatsoever, because they will be rejected. I am not going to sit there and advertise drama. Okay, next one. Alright, here we go. Oh, shoot. That's right. I forgot to read about that one. But I'm going to do it now. Before I get to the good news. Let's see here. Monk. Alright, before we get to the good news, turbulent Senate race now in hands of Alabama voters. I forgot to read this one in the news segment, so I'm doing it here. Depending on who is making the case, Alabama's special Senate election Tuesday is about either continuing the Trump miracle in Washington or allowing quote-unquote decency to prevail back home. At the center is Roy Moore, Judge Moore, to his supporters. The 70-year-old Republican was twice ousted as state Supreme Court Chief Justice after flouting federal law, and now he's attempting a political resurrection amid accusations of sexual misconduct with teenage girls when he was in his 30s. Now, a couple of these allegations have been debunked. People have been proven that, always plug Sunday Funday. Some of these have been proven forgeries and not real, but I'm going to continue reading this. In Moore's path is Democrat Doug Jones, 63, a former U.S. attorney best known for prosecuting 2 KKK Klansmen who killed 4 black girls in a 1963 church bombing. More than 24 people stood in line in the chilly morning air early Tuesday morning at Legion Field, a predominantly black precinct in Birmingham, to cast their ballots in a stadium office. Blue-tinted posters of college football players and cheerleaders lined one wall, and about 20 Douglas Jones posters were planted near the parking lot. Let me see here. I don't want to see Roy Moore go in there. We don't need a pedophile in there. I love how people just automatically jump to these conclusions. I mean, completely disregard the fact that one of these allegations of pedophilia has been proven false because somebody... Yeah, exactly, Red Robot. Innocent until proven guilty is dead, it's seemingly, because they've already looked at the yearbook and said the yearbook edition was a forgery. Different paint, different ink, different handwriting. Morning, Jesper, and welcome to my live chat. KKK was created by the Democratic Party to terrorize blacks, Irish... Exactly. But, in this latest regressive time that we're living in, they like to link them with the Republicans. So, Latinx. So today they are voting between Roy Moore and his opponent. So we shall see how that goes. Now, to leave it on a high note, 100-year-old man throws $13,000 party for the less fortunate. Because you guys like to put some good news in here during the week. Burlington, Vermont. More than 450 people enjoyed the fun and free food at an annual holiday party thrown by a 100-year-old Vermont resident. Anthony Parmalu says he pays for the entire party each year in Burlington, with this year's bill costing around $13,000. He tells WPTZ-TV he doesn't mind the cost because he was brought up the hard way and wants to help the less fortunate with his money. U.S. Senator Bernie Sanders helped kick off the first party 37 years ago when Parmalu asked the independent senator, then mayor of Burlington, if he could throw a holiday dinner. Parmalu says the party has fed at least 40,000 underprivileged children. And there he is, Parmalu himself. The centenarian also remarked on his age, saying, "First of all, I'm 100 years old. Feels pretty good to be here." So there is the good news story for the day. Scroll this up and turn on the live stream. Announcements. It is not a naked old guy. Have they fed them too? Yep. That's all part of it. As you will notice, there is a live stream missing, even though he still does his on a daily basis. It's no longer going to be on my list until the drama dies down. Now, even though it is not Sunday, and I'm sure he's smiling because he knows what's coming, every Sunday at noon Eastern Standard Time on Red Robot's channel is Sunday Fun Day, where a bunch of shitlords get together and discuss what is going on in the world. We laugh, we cringe, We poke fun at each other every once in a while. It's just a good old time, and I'm going to see what I can do about making it there this Sunday. Because I miss Sunday Funday when I'm not on it. Casual Cal, these people can't look back further than 50 years and ahead more than an hour. I agree. That would be an hour behind Central Time, Jacob. Sarah Lee, people forget that the first black voters were Republican. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Let me see. Jesper Wilhelm E.K. Yeah, because an organization created to undermine the Republican Party are surely linked to Republicans. Exactly. The Progressives are definitely idiots. Yeah, I have to agree with you on that one. Okay, so for those of you that can't see the scroll, at 8:30 every morning, Rhetorical Sunrise on Rhetorical Entertainment's channel, where he kind of just shoots the breeze for a half an hour and helps people wake up. And he kicks off the coffee hour, as I like to put it. 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time is not the hour of power, as our wonderful friend, a social wreck, cannot do that anymore. However, Numbed Skull is having the great debate every morning at 9 a.m. Eastern, so check that out. Grab a beer with Jason in his pub at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday. Penina plays Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to jump out of your seat or sit on the edge